Hey, what's good, people, man? It's the Health and Wellness Dread, aka the Platinum Bearded Dread. Yeah, man. Now, I know it's not just me, that everywhere you turn, Instagram, YouTube, you're always hearing about manifestation and visualization, and I mean, it's everywhere. You can't miss it, man. And I ain't gonna lie, up to a point, I was one of those people that was quite skeptical about it because it just sounded too good to be true. But the more I reflect on it, if you think back to when we're little, it's almost like our dreams are so big that they're almost quote unquote unrealistic, but that's because there's no cap on how much we can achieve. I remember when I used to ask little children at work, at school, I say to them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they'd say, I want to be a doctor, a baker, and something else. And I giggled because there was no limitation. They didn't just say, I want to be this. Just have this, this, and this. And they said it with such confidence. And what's really sad is that as we grow older, that spark of creativity is in one way or another drowned out to the point we get to adults and then all of a sudden it's unrealistic. But what we don't understand is that that's the very reason why these institutions like schools are made mandatory. It's not necessarily because you can learn to read and write, which is crucial, and to have a better chance of having a great career. That's the secondary reason. The primary reason is so that those who control the system can keep our level of thinking within a certain box. In other words, give us a ceiling and we can't reach no higher then. When we're younger, the sky literally is the limit. And why am I saying all of this? The reason why I'm saying this is because visualization and manifestation has a lot to do with what we hold true within us and what we allow to take away that truth from outside. It sounds so simple, but it's almost like we can literally achieve what we want to achieve. But there is one stipulation attached to that, which is that you have to hold fast to what you want and what you believe to be true to yourself, and knowing that there's going to be 20 negative thoughts to your one positive thoughts that's going to try and deride you or derail you from staying focused. And that is really what the root of manifestation and visualization is about. I remember when I was younger and I started reflecting and I realized that the things that I wanted when I was younger, I always got, strangely or otherwise. There was at one point I wanted a computer. Now, we had no money for a computer, and it was a basic computer. It wasn't like the computers you have nowadays. And Mum didn't have money for a computer, so there was no way I was getting a computer. So what I would do is I used to cut out a cardboard box and make little buttons on it and pretend it was a real computer. Not long after that, a friend of mine had bought a computer, so he was giving away his old one, and all of a sudden I had a computer. Now, is that a coincidence? I don't know. In the same way with a bike, we couldn't afford a bike when I was younger, and then my mum weren't about to buy me a bike. So the best thing I could do was cut out this little cardboard with a little figure on it and pretend there's a person riding a bike and going up and down on the settee, on the chair, and like it was mountains and stuff like that. After a few months, not long after that, a friend of mine stole a bike and ended up giving me the bike. It was a brand new BMX. Now I know I wasn't the best way to get it, but I ended up with a bike. And the more I reflected, there were so many situations where there were things that I didn't know how I was going to get, but I ended up getting some way or another, simply because I could see it in my head. And that's the same genius, if you like, that all children have. But either be parents, society, or peers, media, somehow saps it out of them. And as adults, we've got to realize that that spark of genius, creativity, and manifestation has always been there and it will always be there. But we have to fight hard against that which is going to tell us, no, you can't, or no, there's no way, or no, you've got no money, or that's impossible. It's almost like you have to state what you want and expect and be ready for all the negative thoughts to come in and tell you how you're not going to be able to get it and you're not going to be able to do it. And when they arrive, you smile and say to yourself, yeah, I knew you was coming. But and with each one, you just put it to the side, and you give the alternative as to why you will have it and why you shall do it. Even the last place I used to work at, which was a secondary school, I really wanted to work there because it was close to home. So on my way on my bike, I'd pass the gates, imagine myself coming out of the school gates, you know, like I've already got the job. I would do that every day on the way back from the job I had at the time. Sooner or later, a vacancy for that place came up. I applied, and what do you know? I got the job. And I giggled because I could see my same nails coming out the same gates that I used to visualize. Is that coincidence, man? I don't know. I think not. All I'm saying, people, is that put aside all the fluff that we hear on social media about, you know, manifestation and visualization, and get to the core of it and the root of it, and realize that if there's something that you want or you want to achieve, external is going to send something to tell you why you can't have it, and it will be up to you to hold fast to that thought and to that belief that you will and you shall have it. More importantly, tell yourself you have it now. And just like the example I gave, when I would be riding my bike and see myself coming out of the school, do those actions now. Don't wait for it to happen. Just do those same actions now. I'll give you one more example. We was expecting to get a car soon and hoping to get a car. And again, the finances weren't quite ready at the time. So when I leave my house for work, you know, I'd get on my bike, but I wouldn't be getting on the bike. In my head, I'm getting into the car opposite the gate. So I see the car in my head, a white car. So even though I'm getting on my bike now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not getting on the bike. I'm getting in the car, opening the door, putting the key and going to work. Now, how long did it take? Probably about 6-7 months later, now I'm driving everywhere. Now, they're just small things, man. These are small things. Now, there's going to be a part 2 to this video, because the next time I record another video, I'm going to tell you all the things that I am doing right now that I've already put out there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, man. What's your thoughts on visualization and manifestation? Do you see it all as hot air and hype? Or do you have examples in your own life where you've seen it take place and manifest? I'd love to know. I'll read all the comments, man. Anyway, it's the Health and Wellness Dread, aka the Platinum Bearded Dread, signing off. Oh yeah, don't forget, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we can do this again. Yeah, man.